Alright, so let's go over these example questions. We have 6 to the 7th divided by 6 to the 3rd. Make sure these bases are the same. In this case, bases are the same, right? So we're going to take 6, so equals 6. Then we're going to take these exponents and then subtract it. So 7 minus 3, that equals 6 to the 4th. And if I were to, simplify that even more, that's 1,296. Alright, so again, bases are the same, take the exponents and subtract. For letter B, bases, let's y to the 7th divided by y to the 4th, right? Bases, again, are the same, so we're going to take these exponents and then subtract. So we have equal to y7 minus 4, and that equals y to the 3rd. Alright? So it gets a little bit harder. So in the notes, I told you guys to maybe separate these, right? So if we were to separate these, something like that, all right? I know it looks messy, but I'll just rewrite it. So we have equals, let's put the x's together, x to the 6th divided by x squared, and then let's put the y's together, y to the 9th divided by y to the 5th, all right? Check to see if the bases are the same, and yes, they are. X is right here, so we're going to take these two and then subtract, right? So we have x 6 minus 2, and I'm going to put this in parentheses, and then we have y, take these two, subtract, take the power, subtract, so 9 minus 5, right? Simplify, 6 minus 2 is x to the 4th, simplify here, y, 9 minus 5 is y to the 4th, and this is your answer. Alright, let's look at a couple more example problems. So we have, in this case, we have negative 6x to the 4th, y to the 5th, all divided by x, or 10x to the first power. Remember, there's a first power here, y to the negative 2. So again, let's split these up. We have negative 6 over 10, all right? And that negative could be on the bottom. It doesn't really matter. Wherever you guys want to put it, that's fine. X's together, so x to the 4th divided by x to the 1st, all right? And then y to the 5th divided by y to the negative 2. So let's simplify this one by one. This becomes... So let's do divided by 2 or simplify it by 2. So that's 3 over 5, right? Hopefully you guys understand that 2 goes into 6 3 times, 2 goes into 5, or 2 goes into 10 5 times, all right? Simplifying x 4 divided by x to the 1st, same bases. So we have x 4 minus 1. Here we have y and y, so same basis, so we have y, and then we're going to take the exponents and then subtract, so 5 minus, so here it's negative 2, so it's minus negative 2, alright? So let's simplify this. We have, this is just going to be 3 over 5, negative 3 over 5. This x 4 minus 1 is x to the 3rd. And then here we have 5 minus negative 2, so that's the same thing as 5 plus 2, right? So we have y to the 7th. So in order to combine all these, think of it as fractions. So this is a fraction, this can be a fraction like that, and this can be a fraction like that. All we're doing is taking the top parts, multiplying it by each other. So negative 3 times x to the 3rd times y to the 7th. That's negative 3x3 y7, and then we're going to take the bottom, 5 times 1 times 1, that's just 5. So this is your simplified version. We can't go any more. That's it, we're done. On to the next one. We have 18x to the negative 4th, y to the 6th, divided by 3, y to the negative 5th. Alright, so again, let's simplify these by splitting these up. Numbers with numbers, so 18 divided by 3. Alright, x's, we don't really have an x down here, so I'm just going to do this. X to the negative 4th divided by 1. Right, keep it as a fraction, right? Y to the 6th divided by y to the 5th, so y to the 6th divided by y to the negative 5. Alright, So next line, 18 divided by 3 is 6. I'm going to keep it in parentheses just so we separate it. Here, we don't really need to subtract anything, but what do we see? A negative exponent, right? So it's on top right now. We got to put this whole thing on the bottom. So this actually becomes 1 over x to the 4th. All right? The next part, y to the 6 divided by y to the negative 5. Same bases. So we have y. 6 minus negative 5. And then we're going to simplify one more time. We have 6. We have 1 x to the 4th. And y 6 plus 5, right? Because negative times negative is positive. So we have y to the 11th. So we got to combine all these one more time. So this is the same thing as 6 over 1. This is the same thing as y to the 11th over 1. We're going to multiply the top part right here. So 6 times 1 times y to the 11th is 6y to the 11th. 1 times x to the 4th times 1, that's just x to the 4th. Alright? I know it looks like a long process, but once you guys get in the hang of it, you guys can skip a couple steps and then go straight to the simplified answer. Last but not least, we have 8x to the negative 6 times y negative 9 divided by 6x to the 4th y to the 2nd. So again, let's split this up. I'm actually going to erase this part because I don't have that much space. So I'm going to erase that. We have 8 divided by 6, parentheses. X is right here, so x negative 6 divided by x positive 4. And then y is right here, y negative 9 divided by y 2. Alright, so let's simplify it one by one. 8 divided by 6 simplified is the same thing as 4 over 3, right? So again, 2 goes into 8 4 times, 2 goes into 6 3 times, simplified. Next, we have same bases. Take the exponent, subtract, so we have x negative 6 minus 4. Alright, so again, I'm going step by step, bear with me. Y's, we have the same bases, so we have y negative 9 minus 2, right? We take the exponents and we subtract. Next step. This is already simplified, so it's just 4 over 3. Next, negative 6 minus 4 is x to the negative 10. Y negative 9 minus 2 is the same thing as y negative 11. So we're almost finished. This we're just going to rewrite as 4 over 3. But here, this is the same thing as over 1, right? But again, it's a negative exponent, so we got to put that on the bottom. So that becomes 1 over x to the 10. Same thing over here. It's over 1. This is negative. We got to put that on the bottom. So it's 1 over y to the 11th, right? Once we switch it, it becomes positive, so we're good. Now all we got to do is multiply across. This is going to equal 4 times 1 is 4. All over 3 times x to the 10, y to the 11th. Alright? So again, hopefully you guys tried this before you looked at this. If not, go back, rewind, and look at it again. Alright?